I feel quite comfortable, but I feel like an imposter. The EML guys, they're wearing sneakers, they fintech, they payments, they cool, they're edgy, and fuck, they raised $250 million in 5 minutes. Well, okay, I'm not quite sure why I'm here against the superstars, but I know what we are about. We're about the commonality, about reducing the barriers that have traditionally been with the businesses that we all know, banks and the larger incumbents. Our business model is largely here to satisfy this changing consumer behavior. Digital, that we've all seen and embraced in our own ways. We're all a millennial generation. We built and read screen and internet technology. That was us. Whilst we didn't build a harbour bridge, that's okay. We built the internet. So I think in the next 50 years we can say, well, forget the harbour bridge, we built the internet. That's good. Now, I think maybe in the next 50 years after that, hopefully they say, well, we built MoneyMe in the same light as the harbour bridge. But here's what's the reality for us. We've got a changing consumer behavior. We've got stacks of data. We've got artificial intelligence. We've got blockchain. We've got so much noise going on. It's like, what do you pick? What do you pick as a stock? What do you pick as a proposition? How fickle are customers between transitioning from one app to the other? We've got to solve for it all. And in Australia, we've got a small population. We might not be as fragmented as the US, but we're certainly complex from the point of engagement with a customer that's digitally capable of finding anything. True, authentic digital players was hopefully what you'll get out of this. But there were barriers, and being here at the EML conference is an incredible opportunity for us to showcase a bit about MoneyMe. We're right now at the final home stretch of our IPO. Okay, this IPO has been one of the most exciting things I've delivered here in Australia for myself personally, learning about a product that we got to create, learning from a consumer about what their changing banking behaviors were, and how do we address the changing needs for tomorrow's customer. Building technology, forward tracking the capability set into a digital environment such as online search, digital marketing penetration, where we don't serve ads in billboard ways and or television campaigns. We target specific customers using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, AdWords search, and the organic search channels across Google, Bing, and others. Now that's the modern shopping place for us, which is really, really, really scalable. Okay. Now it's easy to lend money, okay, but to decision in 5 minutes flat, you'll get to see why this digital era is becoming really, really an advantage point for us. And you'll see why some of the traditionals like banks would like to call themselves fintech, but naturally can't get there and can't get there quick enough to satisfy this customer. We had $1.1 billion of credit demand come through our application in FY19. That's growing. We recently, in the past 12 months, had $1.2 billion of credit demand come through the platform. And it started with this traditional product, this traditional personal loan product, but it's evolving quickly and evolving with the consumers changing interest in what they're looking for. Think about the 0% interest rate in your Harvey Norman for 60 months. Like, that is just long gone. No one believes 0% interest rate for 60 months. Like, that's rubbish. It doesn't actually exist. People are looking for transparency. They're looking for an understanding of what they're getting into. They want to understand their commitments, right? We've got the major four banks that have been doing an incredibly good job of building savings accounts relationship with our customers. We had this thing called a credit card that helped solve for, in the moment and everywhere, we could use a credit card powered by MasterCard or Visa, which was great. Latitude and the others had the in-store merchant finance that was available for customers to buy the goods in store. That was all clever. Then we had Afterpay. Woohoo! Then we had Zip Money. And soon to be released, we've got Freestyle driven by the MoneyMe brand. What that enables is in-store, instant access to credit to buy that product. Okay? Instant access. What we've got is the first virtual credit account that allows a customer in 5 minutes the ability to buy that bike, not integrated with the retail in any other way other than through their FPOS or banking terminal. The ability for this customer to shop everywhere in the world. The ability to send money to other people, peer-to-peer payments. In this audience, if I ask for who's got 50 bucks, and I know most of you are bankers and you won't give me 50 bucks, but if I asked you to give me 50 bucks, probably only 20% of you guys would be able to do so. And that's because of this cashless society that we're now in. But we haven't caught up with how do we actually interact and make payments available. In the States, we've seen some of those new technologies advance, like Venmo. This is the MoneyMe Freestyle proposition. Sign up for 5 minutes, get an instant access to credit that can be used and consumed anywhere MasterCard is available. Send cash to any and everyone that you like. And then there's more about it. So what we also wanted to do was build this likable brand. NPS is about how would you likely recommend this brand to your friends and family. Banks have a -15 to -21. If there isn't such a thing like a negative promoter score, it exists. It's -15. Afterpay 63, that's outstanding. Anyone that's above 70 is considered outrageously excellent, okay? Our net promoter score is 75, and it's the simple stuff. We say that it's 5 minutes, it's 4.5. We say that we're going to tell you everything before you commit to getting your $10,000. We tell you over and over in the language that you understand, and there's just no surprise. And thereafter, automation works for this customer. It's completely frictionless. Direct debits are frictionless, they make sense. Artificial intelligence finds out when's the right time for you that you've got money in your bank to pay us, as opposed to some arbitrary way of getting the customer to satisfy the repayment objectives. And then Google, like we can't game this. Like people will go and tell us what they think about us on Google. We've got a 4.8 star rating. If anyone here has searched on their mobile phone for personal loans, you'll find MoneyMe ranked organically in page 1. And so it's a whole lot of influences. Customer interaction on their mobile site, the actual architecture of the site and page load speeds and all the engagement points that they look about and understand how contemporary we are. And then the other bit is about, do customers actually like and enjoy the experience with us? We get to enjoy this winning strategy on presenting our product to a market. And it costs us not much at all to do so. Now, the foundation, that personal loan, we wanted to satisfy the objective of giving somebody $10,000. And recall we used to have papers and pay slips and all that funky stuff. Fast forward that. We wanted to deliver speed, transparency, point of sale convenience. Wanted to get cash to your bank without you even knowing what your bank BSP, most likely you won't know what your BSP and account number is. Like we wanted to get $10,000 into that nominated bank account without you having to know all that information. We've done that, and our customers love us. We've transacted over 950,000 applications, sorry, it's over 1 million now, applications through our platform. We've originated over 270,000 customers. We've lent over $340 million. This thing is flying and they really like us. But one of the things that we had a problem with is banks had an advantage of having an engagement point with customers, okay, more than we do. Point A, we're relevant to this customer. We give them 10,000. We're really relevant. But because of automation, we don't have any natural engagement with this customer until point B, which is when they've paid us back. Once they've paid us back, we might be relevant to 30% who then want $10,000. So we did a great job, but almost too good a job, where with automation, we're irrelevant. There's just no engagement point. So we created this product, Freestyle, to solve this problem of engagement. The credit card is a very strong engagement tool for the banks, really strong. What we've created with this virtual credit account, in September last year, we established a beta testing environment of having a $1,000 credit limit. We shifted that to $2,000, then $3,000, now $5,000, and actually, I beg your pardon, now it's $10,000 credit limit, okay? What we've been able to do is build a value proposition with customers, learn from how they're interacting with our Freestyle product, and now the official statement I get to say is we're launching the first virtual credit card in Australia on MasterCard with the fully fledged instant account creation today. So at EML conference, we get to, in the end point of our roadshow presentation, I get to say that this is not just the credit card, but it's the contemporary generation now replacement to a credit card. This Freestyle virtual credit account that's powered by EML, because of the MasterCard engagement, the network for us to transact not just here in Australia, but globally. The same replication in the US is what's on our agenda, and we get to describe that to you guys first. We tested it, but we didn't test it on 500 customers or 1,000. There's more than 17,000 customers on this platform already. There's more than $50 million being transacted already, and they're now using MasterCard, tap and pay enabled, to drive any single purchase that they want. But it doesn't just stop there, right? There's the instant creation. It's kind of cool. It's kind of funky. It goes straight to your Apple Wallet the way you think it should. It's not about this, we'll get it in the post 4 weeks later. It's none of that. It's really cleverly in-store, on your mobile phone, added to your wallet, and transact real live, powered by the EML rail networks. Now, we wanted to solve for this. It is blank because I need your attention, please. Okay? This is simple. I've tried it on these fund managers, but geez, it took a while for them to get it, right? They're like, who needs a credit card? Like, fuck, actually. When somebody uses $10,000, they get it, they use it for whatever the reason is, and they pay you back. And what they like is to know, today's consumer likes to know that I'm going to pay you back $500 every single month for 24 months. They like to know that. When they go into a shop, they look at that bicycle for $3,000, and it's actually Afterpay is what, $1,000. Ignore it. Forget about Afterpay. It's going to be a freestyle. They walk into that shop, and they get the $3,000 mountain bike, but they want to know how much do I have to pay you back each month to buy that bike. If I put it on my credit card, 2.5%, who knows what that next month's repayment is. And what day is that repayment? Like, who knows? It's the day you walk through an airport and sign some piece of paper and you got some piece of plastic later. It's got no bearing on society's today's want for transparency and information. This is how it works. It's so simple. You use your MasterCard, you buy that mountain bike. We structure a repayment for you in store right away using your virtual credit account, your MasterCard, like a credit card, in store, bam. It tells you you're going to be paying $175 on the date that we've understood to be the transaction date that you like. Normally, it's when you get paid. We understand when transaction dates are, and we set that up. Customer goes, yay, that's great, boom. They then go and buy a cup of coffee for $3.40. Probably Sydney's like $8. They buy a cup of coffee, and then it sets up again. That repayment's now not $175. It's now $176 or whatever, right? And every single transaction and purchase, that customer's in control of what those repayments are. You might not think much about that right now because you're used to just using your credit card, getting some Qantas points that, 10 years later you might get a free sandwich. But that's changing. This generation now wants to know. They want instant gratification. They want transparency. They want to know, and they want to be in control. Technology powers this solution. Each time you use it, it reestablishes an understanding of your available credit limit. It reestablishes what your repayments are, and it resets exactly when those payments are going to be. Okay? But this person's never in this never-ending debt cycle. That bike was $175, pays down to zero. The coffee was $3.50, paid down to zero. The customer knows that I'm not obligated to some massive debt trap. They get to see exactly what their repayments are before they buy, and they get to use it everywhere in the world. Okay? Now, there's power of data. The hard thing for that is how many data points do we have to re-engineer every time you use the EML card? How many data points do we have to collect, re-aggregate, recalculate interest, and deliver instantly on their mobile phone? That scenario that I've just described, that's really simple. We've cracked it with over 17,000 customers and over $50 million. But here we go. This is about us. This is the generation now. Feel the vibe. Can you turn up the, amplify the volume? Man, feel good. Come on.
Got ready for the night in. She's heading for the lights, but she sees the vision going. Copping line after line. See how she looks for trouble. See how she dances and she sips the Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference.
EMLCon must be one of the hottest conferences going on right now. Must be. The launch of a soon-to-be Australia's fintech darling IPOing in the matter of a few weeks. The book closes on Thursday. The book is covered, and I'm not going to go to jail for saying that because it's actually really properly covered. We get to launch our freestyle product to not just you, but in a few days' time, it goes right across the Australian market. Almost every single set of eyeballs in Australia in the next 18 months will know this freestyle product. We will reach every relevant millennial that is looking for the contemporary version of what was the credit card that we used to know was helpful to our everyday lives. Okay? Now, this diversification in the book's important. Okay? It's not just this nearly employed customer. It's the full spectrum. 40% are under the age of 30, right? But 30% are older than 40. It's this full spectrum replacement credit card strategy. And we've seen that come through the platform incredibly powerful. They're looking for digital solutions, on mobile execution, transparency and convenience. It's not just for the 25-year-old nearly employed customer. The expands proposition for us across the full geography sector, slightly skewed to New South Wales. That's because when we launch a digital channel strategy, we first test it in the Sydney markets, and then we expand it across the board. Okay? No sector concentration spread. The banks and the debt guys that are now not competing with us, but they're actually helping support us. They're funding debt capital for us to lend to people more than they would otherwise want to lend themselves, because we can do it cheaper and we can do it more efficiently using strong data points. Okay? Now, this decisioning thing that I said in 5 minutes, sure, if we lend to everyone some money, it'll take 5 minutes flat, but you won't get it back. But this cleverness happens. Somebody fills out some information on their mobile phone. We do a fraud analysis around that information. We test IP address, naming conventions. Then we test the first largest bureau, Equifax, then in most cases, Ilion. Then there's this new data. New data, comprehensive credit reporting that came in November 2018. It's more important now that everyone who's got a credit card pays it on time. You don't know this, but now it is so important that every single Australian pays their credit card amount on time. Don't wait for the Amex guy to call you. It's too late. What you've got to do is you've got to pay it on time, because the banks are now obligated to provide that data directly into the central repository of information that says you've missed a payment on your credit profile. And that missed payment stays for 24 months. It won't impact on your credit score, but the new order of information that businesses like ours are able to consume looks for, have you missed a payment objective on any personal loan or credit card? This modern consumer is unaware of that, and we're going to drive this engagement and agenda for them to realize there's now positive credit reporting, and businesses like ours are using more data to determine your risk. Then somebody logs into their online bank transactional account, and we look at all expenses, all income, other debt obligations, and other social considerations with what they're using their money for, and we make a credit decision at that point. But then before this customer gets an outcome, we do a sensitivity analysis on past transactional behavior on lots and lots of reference points of data for us. We built Aiden. Aiden is an artificial intelligence machine learning bot. This goes and says, whilst we made a credit decision of yes, they passed fraud, they passed credit decision 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the transactional behavior is all correct. Aiden looks at any consistency of information. Did you shop at 7-Eleven? Are you living in this network? Are you this profile? And if there's a lookalike match about this customer for past behaviors, then we make an in-live decision point. We get to calibrate our risk by having a 93% certainty that this customer will not have a negative payment behavior. Then we decision them for a credit product like Freestyle instantly in store. So it's not about fast, it's not about lending quickly. It's about this capability set to lend customers with really, really, really strong data-driven AI-powered technology. We built that all in Australia, so it's ours, and we're going to take it globally. It's modular, it's risk-adjusted. If we're in the US, we can have decisioning profiles for 50 states. We can cross borders. We can cross products where we've got fixed installments. We've got revolving credit facilities. We've got it all. All our customers come through digital channels, okay? SEM, SEO, that's what I just described to you guys. And you might have got this small little snippet about list ready. Don't know here who sold a house recently, but damn it, it's getting expensive to sell a house. It's actually a bit of a barrier for the agent to get to list the property, with marketing expenses becoming expensive. They're about $7,000 to $10,000 for an average house here in Australia as a cost of domain, REA. Those drones in the sky are taking aerial footage of your house, and that's how you're now selling a house. The barrier for the agent is spending the $10,000. They need customers to spend $10,000. Our network now has the capability and product in the real estate agents to provide finance to that vendor to sell the house using a $10,000 credit facility. Powered by MoneyMe, powered by EML, we now have 700 real estate agents signed up. We launched this 12 weeks ago. We have 700 real estate agents signed up. McGrath, Richardson and Wrench, Ray White, Bell Property, Lang & Simmons. Those are the real estate agents that have signed up to this. What we get is this homeowner. This homeowner's looking for a product to satisfy the $10,000 to spend the right money on their marketing campaign. We get a homeowner. 12 weeks in, we've originated over $1 million already. Homeowner value proposition. You'll see this thing, it's the next thing since, I don't think it's quite the Harbour Bridge, but it's the next best thing since sliced bread, categorically. So what we've got as a business that's going to the public markets is a strong unit of economic growth. We've got revenue going, whoo-hoo, and because we've got contracted revenue, we not rely upon the sale of that mountain bike today. Customer pays us over 24 months. That means we've got contracted revenue growing and growing and growing. We've got this large addressable market by the virtue of this monster legacy credit card that's getting dismantled by Freestyle, okay? We've got this diversified loan portfolio, an early entrant to credit, we've got a homeowner, and we've got this median customer that we're still calling a millennial age technology first customer. And for everyone here in the audience, if you haven't signed up for a Freestyle product, make sure you do so. Use it wisely. Be responsible. But if you're not, we will be, because we'll decision you appropriately on your past behavior. So thank you, everyone. And genuinely a big thank you to the EML guys for allowing me to present whilst we're in our very, very tight schedule of roadshow presentations. I get to see some of you guys in the next couple of hours and yesterday. But thank you guys for letting me use your platform. Cool. Happy for a question. Outstanding, no questions. That means you're signing up. Great. Thanks to everyone.